everyone.
Hi there, guys.
Welcome back to the Smut Couch.
Welcome.
I'm Maddy.
I'm Alexandros.
Period.
Today, we're going to be discussing something very, very fun, but with some sad news as well about it.
Guys, we have the worst timing in the whole world.
This was perfectly timed just for us to
I
look
know.
awful.
So as you guys, if you are like returning listeners or follow our Instagram, we're going to be talking about Breath Mints and Battle Scars by Onyx and Elm.
Yes.
You know, Dramione fanfiction.
Dramione fanfiction, indeed.
However, as of literally yesterday, it no longer exists on the internet.
Yes. So the creator took it down due to an issue that's kind of plaguing the fanfic community right now. As it gets more popularized, I think, you know what? It's directly our fault, too, because our podcast is so successful and popular.
You're so right.
So many millions of people watch our Dramione content.
Well, yes.
That we've just ruined it, I think.
It is our fault, but it's not actually. So don't
No, please. No,
we didn't have nothing to do with it.
No,
we're sorry. But we are going to talk about that. But first, we should talk about actually fan fiction and
the do's and don'ts.
The do's and don'ts, yeah. So the main reason why it's getting taken down, and it's not just this one. A few others are getting taken down.
A lot of
too.
other creators are taking down their stuff due to fear of retribution from, just the actual publishing companies, Warner Brothers, all these other.
Right, because fan fiction is fan-made stuff about copyrighted material, yeah. So they can't make money off of this.
It is illegal for them to do so.
Yes, and it is illegal for people to be selling bound versions of it that they made, which is what's happening right now.
Yeah,
and it's a bit of a yikes. And the gag is it's not even the authors doing it.
Yeah,
it's other people doing it.
Third parties coming on in, realizing they can make a profit off of it. And truth be told, the bound copies look very good, and they're very talented doing what they're doing. The problem is that it's causing legal problems for the ones who actually wrote it.
Exactly.
And I know we joked about this in our Manacled episode as well. As I saw one that they were selling that's bound for Manacled for $160, and you even said hey, no, you should bind it yourself.
Yeah.
That's what you can do. You can print it out yourself and then do it as your own little
But
hobby.
also at the same time, don't buy typesets because that's
no,
thing.
No, don't do that. That's what I'm saying. Print it.
Yourself. Yes. Yourself.
You can do that.
Yeah. But also I think that there are some most fanfic writers at the beginning of their fan fictions will tell you what they are allowing you to do with it.
Yes.
So some don't even want you to do that, which is so valid. It's their work.
Yeah.
They can't make money off of it. They provided us with free entertainment.
Yes.
And a lot of material that is great and amazing, but we don't want to screw them. So
yeah, they're saying, hey, please don't let me get arrested or fined severely for trying to do a fun little thing.
Yeah, they can get sued, and that's really gnarly. So be respectful.
Be careful. Keep it free. Keep it fun.
Yes.
And just, I think that's
live,
the
laugh,
key one.
Love.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just if you want a bound copy of these, figure out how to do it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all probably need a hobby anyway.
There can be no exchange of money, guys.
No.
Please don't do it.
It's just for fun. Period. And also just remember, I know we're here talking on a platform about it, but it is different than a book. It's not a book. It's fan fiction. So
it is just a very long post.
Exactly. So just treat it as such. It's different. It's not the same.
I made the mistake of referring to it Manacled as a book. It is not a book.
Yeah, we're learning too. It's interesting, but as it grows in popularity, we also have to be aware of how we handle it.
Yeah.
Period.
We don't want to get anyone in trouble.
No, because these authors, they put in a lot of, or writers, I should say.
These writers.
See, we're still learning. These writers put in a lot of time.
Become published authors later on in life.
I know, but they become published authors by completely changing it and,
doing their own thing.
50 Shades of Grey.
Yep. This is why they shouldn't be limiting the fanfic community like this. They should just let them profit off of it. The proverbial they of the corporations.
Yeah, but just be aware.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's all because we love these things, which is so slay, but love it in a way that is respectful and responsible.
Yes.
Read fanfic responsibly.
For free.
And don't make money off of other people's work because that's shitty.
If you're doing that, that's a bummer, guys.
Yeah. Okay, period. Anyways, that's the serious stuff.
And now we're back to the fun. This is kind of going to be the send-off, I guess.
I know.
For Breath Mints and Battle Scars by
To be
Onyx and
honest,
Elm.
we went back and forth talking about it because I didn't know if it was still right for us to do this. Because I mean, at the end of the day, like, there are people who are going to see our stuff and be like, oh, I want to read it. And we can't tell them, we can't direct them anywhere to read it.
It will still be out there somehow, some way. You know, nothing is gone forever on the internet. Also, like, hit me up. I'll give you my phone. It's all there.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's interesting that we're talking. I mean, I still want to talk about it because I loved it.
Yes.
But,
and we also didn't have anything else planned for this one.
I know,
so
literally.
We were not prepared for the world to fall out.
I know. I posted, I don't know if you guys saw, but I posted on our Instagram story, we're doing this week. And like, we got like 4 messages, like in like 3 seconds of people. I'm like, so hilarious timing. She announced that she's deleting it today. And
I said, bet. All right.
We were like, okay, great. So work.
Cool. Yeah. No, that's fine. Clearly she doesn't know who we are.
Oh,
that's
my
okay.
gosh.
You don't understand. We're Maddy and Alexandros from the Smut Couch.
Well,
we're the number 2 book podcast in Slovenia right now.
And you know what? That is actually true. Thank you, Slovenia.
To the analytics for emailing us that. Yeah, Slovenia, what's up?
But yeah, so we went back and forth about doing it. We're still going to do it because we loved it. But I'm so sorry if you can't find it.
Yeah.
Cool. But also cherish your Kindles if you downloaded it onto your Kindle.
Those are worth money now. It's like Flappy Bird on iPhones back when that was a thing.
Flappy Bird?
You never remember Flappy Bird?
What's that?
It was a little app that, like, you know, you'd tap and the bird would go through the pipes.
Okay.
And such like that. It was like years ago. And then the creator like deleted it from the App Store.
Oh, and was it a big thing if you had it still?
And if you had it on your phone, like people were selling their phones for like so much money.
Oh.
Because it was just dramatic. But people also broke their phones because the game was so difficult.
Oh, I love that.
I mean, not for me, of course, but like
of course.
The normies.
But also just before we get into it though, if you have a favorite Dramione, maybe download it now.
Yeah, start downloading those because there is a bit of an
happening.
epidemic. Well, that's why I always download them anyway, just so I always have them.
Don't just read them on AO3. Like if you want to have it, download it and then keep it there and don't sell it.
Don't do that. Ever.
Yeah. But just as a PSA, maybe download the stuff you like.
Yeah. All right, but anyway, focusing now on Breath Mints and Battle Scars. This was one of my favorite Dramiones that I've read.
Yes. You put that on our TikTok.
On our TikTok, yeah. It was in my top 5. For those of you who don't know, this is an 8th year Dramione fanfic, which means that, you know, the war was won and they returned to Hogwarts.
Which I've not read yet.
You haven't read
this
one
was
of
the
those,
first one. I'm also very new to fanfiction. LOL. So this is the first one I've read of this nature. And I kind of lived.
No, it's much more cheerful than some of the war.
Cheerful
ones.
Is kind of a very interesting word I would use.
Well, that's because the 2 Dramiones you've read other than this are Manacled and Draco Malfoy in the Morning Mortifying Ordeal of Being in Love, which are 2 vastly different.
But I would put this in the middle.
Yeah, it's literally right there in the middle.
Between like delightful and heartbreaking. It's right in the middle of delightfully heartbreaking.
So a quick little refresher is that this one follows Hermione kind of struggling with some, you know, PTSD and depression from the elements of the war that they all went through. And they're just expected to return to Hogwarts and like, yeah, guys, it's our 8th year. Let's have fun. She's kind of like,
how jarring.
Hey, I'm still a little jarred from all that, guys.
Yeah.
But everyone's like, oh, Hermione, just kind of get over it. Because they're like, come on, let's move on from it. All right, Harry died twice already. And he's not lingering on this. Why are you being such a downer? And the only other person that's also looking just as miserable as she is Draco Malfoy.
Boy. Yeah, so they're kind of on an even playing field.
They both have scars.
Yeah.
We'll see whose is bigger.
Oh.
That's in the synopsis.
Yes.
That's not my bit.
Anyways, I had a point I was going to say, and then I literally just forgot it because I looked at the picture and I was like, about that scene.
How did you like this relationship overall compared to the other Dramiones that you've read?
That's a great question. I loved it.
You liked it?
I think I learned things about myself.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
If you've read it, you probably kind of can get what I'm saying. No, I lived, laughed, loved, truly and honestly. It's because I love the complicated nature of it.
You like it to be a little bit toxic. Just a little.
Maybe. I think I love angst. The girly who is the Tumblr girly inside of me from 2012 lives for the angst.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I live for the angst in my books, not in the toxicity in my books, not in real life.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta compartmentalize that.
Exactly. But I loved it. I also something I really appreciated about this was it wasn't dual POV, but there was his journal entries. Yes. So he's keeping a journal that he has to, by who's making him
Yeah,
keep
the
track.
Ministry as part of his rehabilitation for being a Death Eater.
Yes, he has to keep a journal, and so the whole time the chapters open up with his, entries, and I love that you are still getting both of their thoughts.
Yes, that's a very good way to do it, I think.
It is because it's like it's happening in real time, but you're also not like jumping POVs, which we know from the last episode that I kind of struggle with sometimes.
It's,
Yeah,
we're still we're
Exactly.
Hermione after the war after that one. I'm just like,
okay, yeah,
okay, we made it through the battles. There's no more Therian or Ethan.
truly.
We're good. It's just Hermione and then a little book every now and then.
Yes. But yeah, I loved it. Anyways, where to next? Do you have anything else to say before we?
Yeah, no. This relationship for them is one of the higher ranked ones simply because it's so well written. There's so much depth to the energy, passion, hate, love. All that
I
type of
love
stuff that they
this.
do.
Is enemies to lovers.
This
is
good
hatred
enemies
to lovers.
You like a good little hate moment right there.
Oh, I love it.
They don't hate each other. I don't like it.
Yeah, but you know what I did appreciate about this though? They kissed so early on.
Oh yeah, no more slow burn. Get that
No, this
out
is
of
not
the
a slow burn,
way,
you guys.
Draco Malfoy and the mortifying ordeal of being in love. I'm gonna say the whole title every time.
Sounds like you're saying supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
It might as well be.
Yeah. I loved. So right away we get the drinking butterbeer with the Veritaserum in it.
Yes.
And then meeting and then just the I hate you kiss. I loved it. I was like,
and there was only one library. Oh no.
Oh, it was so good.
Yes,
I was so mad.
So I love the Diary Draco part, and then that's because I kind of like starts off with all that because I had forgot because I've already read this, so this was a reread for me.
Yes, I devoured this like in like 2 3 days.
Yeah, you were done, and I was like, oh wow, I haven't really
finished this
focused on it too much.
Before I finished Hofas, I think.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh wow,
I finished it a long time ago.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I read this.
It's been a minute
fast.
for you, yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, I was re-listening to it on the way here, and I was like going through synopsises because you guys know I have the memory of a goldfish, so I'm trying. Oh, I also have to say I'm a slut for a masquerading costume party moment.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So once they've already had a few like little like interactions.
Yeah.
There's like the Halloween party and the she's like all beautiful. She's like she's a
Harlequin.
Harlequin, yeah.
Yeah.
And he is giving like Evan Peters in American Horror Story with the skeleton.
Yes.
He's not wearing a mask, but he's like
no, he was wearing a mask.
Oh, I thought it was like makeup.
No, I thought it was a mask.
Okay,
because like they didn't see his. I feel like you'd recognize Draco in face paint as opposed to a full mask.
Well, something. He's something is going on.
Basically.
And they like dance and they like kiss her in the middle of the dance floor. I was like, yes.
That was good.
It was
good.
That. And then of course, people are like the next morning, all of her girlies are like, okay, so what was that?
What's the tea?
Who was that blonde you were with? And
There's one blonde guy in the entire school.
Yeah, they're like, that was Zachariah, wasn't it? Zacharias?
Zacharias Smith.
Yeah.
I think he's a Hufflepuff.
And she's like,
Ravenclaw. Oh.
Of course it was Zacharias.
Yeah, of course. Because it wouldn't be the Death Eater who's bullied me my entire life that I obviously hate.
Who's like really sexy and quiet and we're on similar journeys.
Whoa.
Could never be him. So yeah, they're doing that whole thing. But I was like all happy for the gay being there, I was like, yes!
The gay being there.
You know what I'm saying? Come on.
Yes, because Zacharias is gay, so he agrees to fake date Hermione.
Yeah, sorry.
So
Thank you for translating for me.
Pretend to be. Yeah, you're all good.
Yeah, they're like, we'll keep this pretend relationship going. I'm gay. I got to keep in the closet.
Because the Wizarding World is kind of homophobic. I guess.
I believe it.
Depending on the fic you read. Honestly, I've read so many at this point that I can't remember which wizarding societies are closeted, which are like, you can totally.
Can you tell me the number of how many you think this is a side tangent. How many do you think you've read?
How many do I think I've read?
Yeah. Can you give me a guess?
More than 20.
Whoa!
Yeah, that's not a lot. There are some people out there who have like read hundreds.
That's a lot for me because I've read 3.
But that I didn't remember where this one goes until like the dollish moments were happening of like, and we need to rearrest these guys. And I was like, all right, how do these courtroom scenes go? Because I've read so many Draco courtroom scenes.
Yeah.
And
that's gnarly.
Yeah, but back to whether the Wizarding Society is closet or not, there are several fanfics out there where Draco and Theo are getting together before Hermione shows up.
I want to read those.
Sugar and Spice.
Sugar and Spice.
Yeah.
Okay, and everything.
Can't remember who it's by right now. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay, so yeah, they're doing their whole little thing. But But I quickly, at first I was like all there for Zacharias, but then he became shitty.
He became a little bit shitty back then. But then remember, Draco was the one, because Zacharias testifies against Draco at his retrial, using his notebook as evidence. And Hermione's pissed at him. But remember, Draco is the one who told him to do it and gave it to him because he's like on a suicidal path the entire time.
But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the way he was like, if you break up with me, I'm going to tell everyone.
And then he quickly backed off and didn't do it, though. I think it was just a quick moment of panic of him just being like, sorry.
Yeah,
okay.
I was still mad.
No, that was a little shitty thing to do.
Yeah.
But so basically this entire time, Draco is very suicidal. His arm is burning him the entire time because the dark mark.
The bark?
The bark.
The dark mark, yeah.
Is, poisoning him and torturing him because he's like resisting its urge or whatever it was, the magic behind it. So
he keeps doing stuff to himself that's like scary.
Stop doing it. Like he keeps taking baths in the lake. What's it called? The what lake?
I don't know. The Great Lake. I don't know.
The
Great Lake.
There's that big old lake with the squid in it.
Yeah.
There. He just keeps jumping in there, dying of like hypothermia essentially every single time.
And she's like, "Why are you trying to die?"
And he's like, "I'm not trying to die. This thing just burns a lot.
Yeah.
You know how hot this gets."
I also feel like this is a really good thing about like chronic pain. I was like, "Oh, work," because that sucks. It's literally driving him crazy.
And it's the same thing with it's juxtaposed with Hermione's mudblood scar that she got from Bellatrix.
Yes.
So that's why it's called battle scars. The breath mints part is him constantly sucking on breath mints every time he talks to Hermione. Just like,
you gotta.
Hey,
what am I trying to say? You never gotta get ready if you stay ready. Is that what I'm trying to say?
Oh yeah, no, he's always ready for a little.
Yes, exactly.
So I specifically noted like one moment where Hermione is like in a fit of rage. This is like before they've kissed or anything, and she like destroys the women's bathroom, like freaking out because like everyone's acting all normal, and she's so upset that it's like it's not normal, it's not okay. I think something that set her off was Parvati and
this part made me actually cry.
Yeah, so Parvati and her sister, Panama.
Oh no, Patel's her last name.
Yeah. And Panama, the twins, they're talking to each other, and then Parvati turns to look at Lavender Brown, who died in the Battle of Hogwarts, because it's so natural. They're in potions, just chatting with their friends. Turns, isn't there a moment of hesitation? And then you look on back. The closest thing I have that's like relatable to this is when my dog died, and like you just go to like refill their bowl. So like I was doing that because I had 2 dogs, so I didn't have one anymore. So I was refilling one's water bowl, and then I went to go do the other one. I just poured water all over the ground. I know it's sad, but it's like you get into these, muscle memory moments of just just going through the movements, the rhythm. And then
you want to call. It's like when you want to call someone who's no longer with us. Like,
hit them up. Oh, can't do that.
That's what I love about this because it's so human. Like that's so real.
Yes.
Anyways.
So she destroys that bathroom. Draco runs in, like thinking that there's a battle going on. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing? What? Girl, chill. It's not that serious."
Yeah.
And he gets blamed for it, like attacking. And then she's like, "No, my God, that's not what happened, guys. That I won't stand for him being wrongly accused and looking hot like that too." Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Come on. People are already kind of like, what is going on? Why is he being so mean to her? But he's really kind of not.
So
people are just
back to that one party that you mentioned earlier. So basically there's a Gryffindor party, and all the 8th years who fought the war and stuff like that, they're all drinking now. And like, what are they gonna do? Not let us graduate? We beat a dark army in this school
grounds. It's also the UK, though. The drinking age is younger.
I know, but I still feel there's something about drinking on school grounds.
Yeah, but they're like, whatever.
They're like, we got the chosen one with us. What are you going to do, expel us? He died twice, guys. He's died twice. Neville chopped off a snake's head. We're vibing here. Expel me, bro. Come on. Come on. I put my blood, sweat, and tears in this school to save it. You're not expelling me, bro. So they're doing that, and then they play. I like this. This is the same as like microdosing with Amortentia from
it reminds me of
Draco Malfoy and the Mortifying Ordeal of Being in Love. I'm gonna do it every time. Where they put a drop of Veritaserum in their either butterbeer or fire whiskey, and they're like, "We're gonna play Truth or Dare, guys."
How
Hermione's
crazy!
Like, absolutely not. So she leaves the party because she's like, "All right, I don't want to do this," and goes to the library where Draco is because this is their first time.
Oh,
And
a library?
she's drinking there. She's a little buzzed now.
Yeah.
Talking to Draco sitting there reading, like, what are you doing here? And he's like, what are you doing here? She's like, I'm just escaping the party. And then like he starts drinking from her drink too, because they're chatting. And all of a sudden they start like saying a little bit more than they should.
Maybe
to
the
each
truth
other
is that there's tension.
about how into each other they could be. And just like, wow, you're looking pretty handsome. You're looking pretty. And they're like, why are we talking to each other? And then they start,
Oh, yes.
But they quickly realize, that's weird. Why am I saying all this? Why am I him?
Oh my gosh.
And then Hermione realizes, that dipshit Seamus, he put a drop of Veritaserum in my stuff. So we're... Veritaserum?
Veritaserum? I don't know. Y'all can be mad again.
Oh.
It's all fake anyways.
It's not real, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I lived.
Yeah.
But then they're both kind of like, now what was that?
Don't worry about it. We're gonna go back to that didn't happen.
Yeah. Oh, we also forgot to say like her and Ron aren't together.
Oh yeah, no, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, it didn't work out.
Wasn't a fun time.
I just don't think. Actually, I have things to say about this. I just don't think he's intellectually stimulating enough for her.
I think guys need to be a little dumb.
What?
Isn't
You do?
Good? Yeah, I do.
No, I don't think
I think
so.
girls like him a little bit dumb.
I think it depends on the girl. No, because actually...
No, not her, probably. But.
Yeah. Because I think that's the whole thing, is that her and Draco are on even... Because they're both, like, top of their class. Mm-hmm. They're, like, on even playing
top
fields.
Top of each other?
I mean, they
Later
could be.
On.
Yeah. Like, I just think... Because, actually, okay, personal anecdote. I was really down bad for this guy for so long, and all of my friends know exactly who I'm talking about. And, like, eventually I got the ick because I realized... I don't think he's as smart as I am. And though...
That's a low bar. I'm so kidding.
You stunned me silent with that one, sir. Anyways, I was like, I don't think he's smart enough for me. Wow, listen, I love me a himbo. I can't be the one leading the... You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You need to have... You need to be
stunned silent. I'm just kidding.
Well, yes. I can see the golden retriever is a sleigh, but... You need a little bite sometimes.
There's no activity going on up there.
No, nothing going on upstairs, and that's what I realized, and I think that's what Hermione realized.
You know, in a lot of fanfics, Ron does get kind of like shafted in his treatment. So this one, I do like how it's not overtly just Ron hating, because there are a lot out there that's just like, and then Ron all of a sudden is just the absolute worst, and I'm like,
because she doesn't even say that.
No, but there are a lot out there, that kind of give him that treatment. So I like the ones where it kind of naturally like the qualities that show from the canon material kind of come out even more so, but in the wrong ways.
Yeah.
So that he has his own downfall moments. Like this one is like, he would totally beat up an unconscious Draco when he does that.
Yeah.
There are other ones where he just refuses to accept that Hermione and Draco are like in love, and like he keeps like thinking that like he hexed her or something like that.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And so he keeps pushing that point when it's not the case, pushing her away further and further.
Yeah. This one, he was just like, yeah, okay.
This one,
I mean, he is upset, right?
Yeah, obviously
I mean,
upset.
anyone.
I mean, everyone is.
Yeah.
And that's,
yeah.
Yeah. Everyone's really feeling it.
But I will say, though, like, because I think for me, I love Ron. Don't get me wrong. Like, in the movies, I live. But the moment where I'm kind of, like, the most is when he's, like, losing it. Do you know what I'm saying? Am I fucked up?
What do you mean?
In the 7th one, in Deathly Hallows, you know, when he's like wearing the thing, and that's what.
I got what you're saying.
That's when I'm like,
he's going crazy with the locket around his neck. Yeah,
you know what I mean? I think I just need an asshole.
I mean, everyone does.
No, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, anyways, but I think that's the Draco. That's why I live.
They have to be a little mean.
Yeah.
That's the point.
You know.
There's a quote I have from when they're kissing for the first time, where it's like she realizes she wants this, and. This was a weird one for me, is that I think they were making out for like a good 10 minutes. And I was just like, that's tiring to do, guys. You know, you're going to feel it in your jaw right there.
Yeah. Well, I can say that about lots of things in this book.
And then she doesn't cover up the hickeys the next morning.
Which and everyone's like, so what's that?
She's like, don't worry about it.
That's what do they call them?
Love bites?
Yeah, that's so cute.
Love bites.
That's really cute. In it?
In it? Well, at least.
Okay, so then, la la la, they're kind of doing this secretly.
Oh, wait, hold on. This is another good quote right here. She doesn't want to wonder if it was her best kiss because she knows it was.
Aww.
She's like, No, it couldn't have possibly been my best kiss. It was. No.
Yeah.
I said it's surely Victor or Ron were a better kiss. Nope.
Draco.
That was her best kiss. He
Yeah,
was
well,
too good.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
I live. Oh, I also put the validation she must feel, like, from seeing someone else struggling as much as
Yes,
she
that was
is.
a big thing, and that was their main attractions, that they're both the only ones suffering and kind of
Yeah.
day drinking every now
How
and then.
it must make her feel so seen and so, like, not
Mhm.
crazy.
Well, that is, like, why they see each other for the first time because,
Yeah,
like, they're the only ones not trying to act like none of it happened. Everyone else is
exactly.
in the moving on to heal section
Or
of.
I think also I don't even think just that, I think it's also the, like, denial, like,
Well,
"Ah, la, 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 la. Let's just keep going."
I think that's how Hermione takes it. Personally, I see it more as, like, they're just at different stages in their healing
Yeah,
journey. I
valid.
think, you know, everyone's path to healing is different,
Right.
so but they kinda do leave her out to dry when she's still not okay. Harry's the
Yeah.
only one who's like, "I was giving you your space, waiting for you to
Yeah.
step forward and say that you wanted help because 'cause we've
Yeah.
been trying,
I
Hermione."
appreciate Harry in this
Yeah, Harry's
because
great in this. He's always a good little guy.
yeah, because he's very understanding, and when he eventually does find out, he's like, "Girl, what the hell?" But he's not like, you know what I mean? He
Yeah,
doesn't
that
act
was
like
the
he's
one thing
crazy.
that, like, when it comes to Draco Malfoy and the mortifying ordeal of being in love, that, uh, Ron and Harry were clearly not big characters in that one, but they were also kinda thrown to the side. I'm like,
They're like, "Oh, for
Harry's
sure."
kind of a G, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, well, yeah.
He he'd
He's
be
the
able to
moment.
handle stuff, you
Yeah, yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah,
I get
yeah.
that he's not the main character anymore, but also so I like fics where he is still consistently, like, solid throughout.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I live. Um, okay.
There
Now
was a
we're
moment where she stole his diary as well that we should
yes.
talk about,
Oh, yeah.
because she always saw him writing it, and she's like, "Well, what is that for?"
That stupid
And
purple
she did, and then
diary.
she realizes, "Oh, this is therapy. This is court-mandated diary therapy."
Yeah.
So, this is her first time chatting with Theo Knott as well,
Yeah. Because
and
he attacks her when she
yes,
steals it,
Draco,
which I was like, "Oh,
a little
yikes."
bit dramatic, grabs her, starts choking her out,
Yeah. Which
not in the fun way.
no, 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 no. I was like, "Oh, I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared."
Don't
And
like that.
everyone's like, "Is this when Ron
Yeah, this is when, he gets stunned and knocked out, and then Ron just starts beating him up after he's
after
unconscious.
he's oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yikes." But I mean,
That's never a
not a
good
good
time.
look, but like everyone emotions are high.
Everyone's like, "Yeah, Ron, get him."
Yeah. But then Theo not like explains like, "Oh, this we're in therapy together. Like this is we have to do
Mhm.
this. This isn't
Otherwise, we go to
okay."
Azkaban.
Yeah, that his ass could get got if you take that way.
And
Like
that's happening to a lot of the Slytherins right now.
yeah, and
So
she if he doesn't, he has to update it every day. And if she doesn't, I mean, you guys already know. If he doesn't, then Azkaban. So she has to enter and do an entry for him.
and she does, and then sends
Mhm.
it. And then Draco's next entry after that has something along the lines of, yeah, after she apologizes to him, like he can't stay mad, and he says she's always ruining things with her face because like he just was looking at her face and was like, "Stop it."
Oh, he's like that face.
But that was a serious thing to like choke her out, throw her against the wall. And be
Yeah,
like,
that
"Where
was
the fuck's
bad.
my diary?" It's like, girl,
Yeah.
relax.
Everyone's traumatized and doing spooky stuff.
hmm
Yikes, 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 yikes.
That just reminds me of, with a lot of eighth year fanfics and just a lot of them in general, it kind of glosses over the fact that a lot of the Slytherins were down for,
Right.
the Death Eater regime to
Right.
win, which is why I think I kind of like the wartime ones better, because a lot of the time Draco and the squad turn traitor to it, so like you can appreciate them more for it. In situations like this where Light won and then they just have to go on back,
Mhm.
I feel like you have to take large jumps in logic
Right.
about like
You have
that
to
they're all
kind
just
of
chill now, you know?
you have to kind of like yeah, like how are these people actually in school together? And
Mhm.
honestly, how can like it is kind of crazy. Like
There are some that portray like, the Gryffindors like in the bad light because they're bullying the Slytherins. I'm like, well, they were literally like Nazis essentially.
yeah, no,
So
they were
like
truly killing their
they
friends.
were like, yeah,
Yeah.
this is a pretty serious thing. I get that like it's not fair to be mean to them right now, but also like that
Right.
let's be for real here about what they were
No,
doing.
very valid.
So the only way to do it, and this fic does it pretty well, is to frame them as just scared kids doing what their parents were telling them
Yeah.
to do.
Which is still wrong, but
Yeah. But it's like,
yeah, yeah.
it humanizes them more.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But, still, there should be some jail time for some of these
Oh
kids.
yeah.
For some of them.
Right, definitely.
Drake only gets a pass because hot, and, he did turn at the last second.
He
Against,
did, yeah. Him and Narcissa.
when it counted, yeah.
Then eventually there's that Boggart lesson.
Oh yeah.
Did I say that right? Boggart?
No, yeah, Bogart.
Where they're doing, that is one of my favorite scenes from the movie.
Oh, from the third one? Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. And they're doing
ridiculous.
Yeah. And because the teacher's like, it'll be good like therapy, but she's like, but you don't have to come if you want.
But also like opt out because there's some bad things that could show on up.
Y'all have seen some stuff. I'm like, that's kind of crazy for y'all to have them do that, but work. And of course, like Hermione goes and it's Bellatrix.
Yeah.
And it's hurting her though. Like, so it's very reminiscent of when the
when
Dementor comes and like
for Harry?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Boggart shows up, takes the shape of your worst fear, for those of you who don't remember. So it's Bellatrix when she was torturing her.
And she feels it. It's hurting her. And she's like,
she says Crucio. And they're like, Boggarts can't do that. Hold on a second.
Boggart's doing it. Of course, our boy.
God. I can't remember what fanfic this is from, but there's another scene that's like this where the Boggart shows up and it turns into for Hermione after she and Draco are kind of already together for a little bit. And it takes the form of Draco and just calls her a mudblood and says that he could never love her or something like that.
Oh gosh, that's horrifying.
And I don't remember what that's from, but
let us know if you remember.
It all blends together after a while.
Oof. So
the Boggart's always a good one.
Yeah, Bellatrix is attacking her. Draco steps forward. His Boggart being a mirror of him as his father. As his dad. Ooh. I was like, that is so good. Ooh. Onyx and Elm, you ate with that. Him seeing him, like, because it's just the whole thing of him seeing himself and his dad, or him seeing his dad and himself, and who he could become, but who he's trying not to become, who he's been. Oh!
All of that.
Yeah.
So
it was so good.
Art. Very well done.
I lived.
Yes. So, anyways.
Wait, what would your Boggart be?
My Boggart?
Yeah.
Something that I won't say on the podcast.
Oh, work. My Boggart would be Heights, like Zacharias.
Oh. I don't know what mine would be. That's why I'm not saying. I genuinely.
You don't know?
I don't know what.
I'm scared of heights. Like
death.
The house valid.
Manon saying she doesn't like me. Oh.
That is very valid.
She's like mid. I'd be like, no, please.
Yeah. Okay, so eventually the dark mark is really hurting him.
So he tries
They do be having moments between, and it is really slight.
This is probably
a very spicy
the
one.
smuttiest one we've covered. You know, for the Smut Couch, I'm gonna be real, we've been failing at like actually having that like consistent smut.
Yeah.
And not even our fault. House of Flame and Shadow just didn't have what we wanted it to have. Yeah.
This one is she's there.
Pretty consistently just here and there.
And I lived.
Astronomy Tower.
Oh, yikes. That one was a yikes. The hospital wing.
Oh, and that's where we get to. So he tries to cut off his dark mark and like won't do it. So Pomfrey's like, and like he like passes out. And
it's like, because it's like festering. It's getting all weird.
Madame Pomfrey's like, we gotta amputate his arm. And Hermione's like, wait, I have an idea. And uses the Imperious Curse, commanding it to heal.
High Unforgivable.
Unforgivable.
Yeah.
And it
so
does.
Smart.
And then Aura show up and they're like, you're just using Unforgivable. And she's like, but I healed his arm.
Yeah.
And Draco's kind of pissed about that because he's like, I really wanted to not look at this thing on my arm.
Yeah.
So
valid.
I've been okay with losing it. But no, you had to go ahead and ruin that too. So she comes to visit him later that night when Pansy is also visiting him. Pansy Parkinson.
Pansy.
So canon-wise, they kind of dated for a while.
Yeah.
And are kind of a thing in this book too, but not really.
Well, he says, he's like, why wouldn't I want the attention that she's given me? He's like, my life has sucked.
Because Hermione's always lying about who she's been kissing and stuff. So
exactly.
He's like, very clearly, she's
you don't want me enough, so of course I'm gonna, which I'm like, work, valid.
And this is when she goes into check and I'm like, hey, you okay?
And then, ooh, baby. Yep, I lived. She also, though, in this moment, she said about their scars, she said, if I have to live with mine, then you have to live with yours.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, because, I think that is like, it's shitty because like maybe he didn't want to.
Don't forgive and forget.
Exactly. Like at the end of the day, you are kind of related to why she has hers. Yeah. And so it's like, no, sir. I have to look at this every day. You have to look at that every day.
Yeah.
I was like, period. But yeah, so then
she has a very interesting time at the hospital wing.
And I
in the hospital
you guys,
bed that is Draco's.
I got my bag. I always do.
He actually tries to be a little shit though, and tries to like ruin it for her because it is her first time doing the deed.
Yeah, and he tries to like have bad attitude, and she says to him, she's like, "You're not going to ruin this for me.
You don't get to ruin this on purpose." Yeah, is what she says,
which I loved.
Ooh,
but is this when also he calls? This is when she calls him Draco for the first time.
Yes, she keeps saying Malfoy, and he's like, "That's not my name."
He's like, "No, call me by my actual name." And she's like, "Okay, Draco."
Say my name.
I was like,
she adjusted her attitude real quick.
But I thought it was really the moment. Did y'all? Because I did. Okay, then they fell asleep. It's the next morning, and
he kind of like ripped off her pajamas. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, like buttons everywhere.
And she's like, it's the next morning.
People are
Pansy's
like coming in.
Help me. I can't use, and she can't use her wand because it was confiscated after she used the Imperious Curse. So she's like, I don't have a wand. He's like,
he puts her in robes, but they're Slytherin robes.
And she's like, these are Slytherins. He's like, oh, well.
He's like, kind of like how they look on you. I was like, oh.
And Pansy's the only one who notices coming back, like, what are you still doing here?
She like kind of figures
it out. In Slytherin robes. I'm going to kill her. Okay.
Yeah. And then she quickly is like, oh, no, nothing happened. Nothing happened. Yeah. She does, though, go immediately and tell Ginny. And Ginny's like, that's crazy of you, girl. I'm not going to judge you. I don't like him, but that's crazy. And that's
we'll do some more shots real quick because we need to work through this.
Yeah. And then they show up, and like a few days later, they show up to school, and Pansy and Draco are like holding thing. Hands. Yeah. And she's like, now what the fuck is going on here on this day?
So she goes, yells at him, all that stuff. And that's when they have that conversation of, you clearly don't want me, so why wouldn't I take what she's offering?
Which is valid. It's hard.
I don't know if it's valid, but all right.
Well, yeah. But I mean, the feelings are valid.
Yes.
The feelings are valid.
Then, like, he kind of does something even worse because they have a little Christmas date, right? Very nice. And that's when she makes it official with everyone because she stays over the holidays with Draco.
Yeah.
And
I loved when they were out on their date. They were in the Muggle world, and they're like a Christmas market, and they got each other the same little stupid Muggle gift.
And Draco really stole his because he didn't have any Muggle money.
Yeah, but that was really sweet. And then they go and they have a moment in the what's that classroom? Professor Trelawney's classroom.
Oh, divination.
The divination room with the pillows.
Wow, wow.
That was cute.
Would they do that? Some fun little shenanigans up there.
But she tells, what's her name? The reporter lady that
Rita Skeeter. Yeah.
Rita Skeeter. She tells them that they're going to go. So then the next morning on Christmas Day, they're the news.
They're in the paper. And she's like, that was my big gesture for your Christmas gift.
She's like, I wanted everyone to know.
We're together. It's official.
Yeah.
And she gets a bunch of hate mail from all her friends. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. I love
girl.
Gagged. That's crazy. But she's like,
yeah, it is what it is.
Like,
how do you like that, Draco? And so in return, Draco decides to do the worst thing and ends up like hooking up with Hermione in the astronomy tower while saying that he had a late assignment. Yeah. And so kind of has her up against a wall with her legs around him.
It was really the moment, you guys.
And you hear something fall. And guess who walked in? Ron
Weasley.
And he starts sputtering.
You know what that was?
It's a pipe bomb.
Yeah.
And he like starts sputtering, like freaking out because he's like, he kind of didn't really want to believe it, even when she told him, and he was kind of in denial. And he runs away, kind of crying to the other boys in Gryffindor. And Hermione realizes that Draco did this on purpose because he somehow knew that Ron was going to be going up to the astronomy tower at this time at night.
He has Draco is the perfect case of like self sabotaging things.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
You know,
the entire time.
The whole time, because I mean, he's going through it, valid, but like he can't let himself be happy.
Yeah.
And he can't let Hermione be happy.
And I think he was also trying to call her bluff.
Yeah.
He didn't believe that Hermione was really like
really in for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know.
That was a bummer though.
That was not very cash money of him, as the kids say.
You're so right. The kids do be saying that.
I don't know when he says this though, but I just have in quotes from Malfoy. My apologies for this real quick. But I felt the need to mark it
Apologize
down.
to Solomon first.
Solomon, I'm so sorry. Because you don't know, Solomon is the guy
He's our
who runs
producer.
all this stuff.
What are we sorry for?
What
he's about to
read.
say. So I'm just sorry.
Thank you. So he says at one point, and this is I think in the astronomy tower.
Oh God, I'm scared.
Quote, "You smell wet." And
that wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
No, but it's like I didn't like the visual of that, the connotation of that.
Yeah.
You can do
The
feel,
smelling, yeah,
taste, all these other.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Smelling is that just means musty. Like I don't
Not musty.
like what are you doing if like some guy's
Bruh.
putting the Riz on you and he goes, you smell wet.
Yeah,
like,
I'd be
nope.
kind of alarmed, to be honest.
We're gonna X out of that one.
Yeah.
Let's try that one more time, guys.
Take it from the top, please.
Okay, so let's try a different scent.
Yeah,
you can't do here either. So you sound like
Not you
what's
can't
the word?
do
Hold on,
here
hold
either.
on. You smell wet. I think that's the worst one. You
Yeah.
sound wet. That's not great.
I'm scared of where this is gonna go.
You feel just going through the 5 senses.
Okay, I know, but I know.
You taste.
There you go. That's
yeah,
what I was
that
looking
one.
for.
But like, that's pretty great. And then what's the other sense? What did I miss?
Sound? Smell?
You look wet.
Feel?
No, you look wet.
Oh,
That's the
yeah.
only other one.
That one's still bad too.
Yeah.
R,
Yeah,
R
you
is the
are
best.
wet.
That's
Yeah.
okay. I'm still scared. Ugh.
But just I don't
Yeah, that's something else.
to the very few men who watch this because our analytics are mostly women, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try that one. Don't whip that one out. That's a no-go, I think.
Whip that one out was also a weird thing to say then.
What is it? Guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Don't be whipping out you smell
Not
wet.
nice. You're crazy.
Don't do that one.
Yeah, just think a little bit.
Please discuss that with your partner before you whip out the you smell
Stop saying whip out. Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyways, when I'm sweating
Yeah.
out of embarrassment. Don't get it twisted.
So, are you gonna? Oh, never mind. What does sweating get you? Wet.
Stop. Oh god. Anyways.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, Ron's all that sad.
And then the plot starts picking up because, this has mostly up to this point just been a little bit of wow.
Porn without plot so far, but now comes the plot.
So some of the Aurors from the ministry are kind of upset that all these kids got away.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who don't remember. And so they're like, we're going to retry these kids again. And they get the approval to do that.
Yeah.
So they arrest all the Slytherins. They're like, you're going to jail, you little racist.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, no, please, we're not actually. It was just our parents.
Yeah, but it's still kind of like scary. Wait, before we go there though, the way I forgot her name, Hermione's friend, Gryffindor, wouldn't allow her to sleep in to be in the Gryffindor.
I don't know if they wouldn't let her be there. I think they
felt
just bullied her
uncomfortable.
every time that she was, and they would accuse her of things. So she just started sleeping in the Slytherin.
So she showed up, and they let her sleep in the Slytherin, and it was really cute
on the couch there. Yeah,
and also the visual. I wanted to say this because the visuals of the Slytherin common room in this, obviously
nice. Yeah,
reading it though because it's like in the dungeons, right? As we know, but it was like up against the lake, and so
that's how it is. Yeah.
Is that how it always is?
That's how it usually is, yeah.
Okay, listen, I don't know. Like I've said, this is my third Dramione fanfiction.
Oh, my apologies.
Yeah, but I love that it's like an aquarium with the couch. Like I saw beautiful fan art of it, and I was like, that's gorge. But I'm saying that now because she's kind of found a group of friends. I don't think is the correct words, but there's a respect or like
this is the usual squad of Pansy, Theo, and Draco, and Blaze Zabini as well.
Yeah,
they're always a good little tight knit group. Usually, you'll also get Daphne Greengrass, which I don't think you've read a fic with her in it really yet.
Nope.
So
Miss Greengrass.
Yeah, she's a pretty good one. She's Astoria's sister.
Oh,
so
duh,
you know that one, yeah.
Yeah. So I just wanted to make that note because
very great description. Yeah.
Yeah. The Slytherins got, and
she starts being their character witness because no one's going to represent them because the lawyers, anyone who tries to help the Slytherins ends up dead because the Aurors are kind of killing them. Like we're not letting anyone get out.
Yeah. So time. she feels responsible to help. The first person who goes is Pansy, right?
No.
And
it's another one that's like kind of I think Adrian Pusey.
Okay. Well, the first one
that we care about,
is Pansy. And Hermione has this whole thing where like, it was because she's in love with Theo. That's why she was crazed by love.
She confessed that.
Yeah, and
late at night.
So
She broke girl code to say it.
She did, and she was mad. Pansy was pissed, but listen, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
Yeah,
you know. And she gets off with like probation or something, or like a fine or something like that.
Because it was for love, so it's okay.
It's for love. And everyone's like, Hermione, why are you doing that? Why are you defending them?
Because they don't.
Like no one else will.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, no one else will. So she feels responsible.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, we forgot another really big thing.
Yeah, we did, but
you know what I'm talking about?
We're not really going plot by plot in order right now.
I know, but it's really cool.
When she removes his dark mark.
Yes. Yeah.
So he puts an ice charm on himself.
Yeah.
At some point, right?
Elsa.
A little Elsa moment. Ethan. And because he just wants to freeze everything because it's burning him so bad, like it's smoking.
Yeah.
That's how bad it's gotten. And so Hermione rushes in to save him, and then essentially cuts off the mark and then like heals the skin under it with everything else.
No.
It keeps it hollow, right?
They remove. Yeah, this is like all gone. Like
it's just bone.
Forearm is gone. It's bone and skin, and that's it. And then the dark mark is gone. And so she fills it with like embalming stuff. Stop that.
Okay.
Stop that.
What?
And if you saw that, sorry. And then and they like use charms for it to work. But I wanted to point that out before we go too far too.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. I'm just like, that's a really cool thing.
It's really cool, but also he's kind of freaking the fuck out because now he doesn't feel any pain anymore. And so he took
it away.
She took it away, which is slay, but also when you've been living with something for so long, he starts to like freak out a little bit. Because he's like, she took the pain away, which is good, but also like, what else is he gonna, I don't know, you know? You know what I'm saying?
I had a huge problem with my knees for a while. That like, it hurt any time that I bent them, anytime that I crouched, sat, it would be like a whole creaking thing.
Okay.
So, I took some medication for a while and then like that didn't really help. And then after like a year, I just noticed one day that it did stop hurting very badly.
Was it weird?
No, I like almost cried of joy when I was walking upstairs one day and I was like, oh my gosh, that didn't hurt.
And that actually, you said crying of joy. That probably would have brought up such interesting things in Draco because he's so he feels so much guilt. And he probably, I know am I making it up, or in other fics, like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I don't know. But he probably feels he deserves the pain. And so to then not have the pain.
Yes, it was also self-punishment for him.
Yeah,
absolutely.
then to no longer have that pain, he probably is like, I don't deserve to not feel that anymore. I don't deserve to feel any type of joy, which also probably adds to the self-sabotaging of it all.
That he also does at his trial.
Exactly.
Yeah. So when Hermione's trying to help him, he's the one who gives Zachariah Smith his journal to be like, read how I wanted to.
And he also tells Harry, like, don't let her help me.
Mm-hmm. And Harry's like, I'm going to let you help him.
Yeah.
And I'm going to help you help him. Mm-hmm. Let's do this.
Yeah.
So
the trial's going.
Narcissa sends him a memory after the diary is read and everything to be like, hey, use this memory and it might help save my son. He won't save himself. Don't tell him that I gave this to you.
Oh, Narcissa.
Because he wants to go to Azkaban because he doesn't feel that he deserves any of this stuff. Mm-hmm. Despite all the evidence that shows that like he did help in the end.
Right.
He didn't he quote unquote didn't recognize Harry when they were brought to the manor. They're like, oh, this is him, right? So tell us, and then we can send him to Voldemort. He's like,
never seen that man in my life.
Yeah, he's not wearing glasses, man.
Yeah.
I distinctly remember Harry Potter wearing glasses. You know? Couldn't be him.
Mm-hmm.
So the memory that Narcissa sends was of when Hermione was getting tortured by Bellatrix.
Yeah.
And you see Draco muttering a counter curse to the poison curse in the dagger.
Yeah.
That's being carved into her arm. So she probably would have died.
Yeah.
If he wasn't doing that.
He saved her wife.
The entire time Narcissa's like, stop, they're gonna notice, they're gonna notice, they're gonna notice. And he's like,
because he's cared for from the beginning. Mm-hmm.
That's what I picture him doing.
That's exactly what I pictured too.
Just locked in.
Yeah. So he saved her, and that I think
that
added
exonerates him again. Yeah,
yep.
And he's a free man.
He's free, but he's kind of mad at her. They like have a moment. He's like, I'm mad at you because I wanted to just let me go because I think it's also like I'm not good enough for you. I shouldn't be allowed to have a life, you know?
Yeah.
And so he's like, bitch, you were crazy for that. And then Theo's trial is supposed to happen, but because everyone keeps getting off, whatever.
They postpone it.
they're like, never mind, we gotta postpone.
Let's see if we can get at least one of them.
Exactly.
And so Hermione goes back to Slytherin with Draco to the common room there, and then they're like, "Hey, after he's free, they're kind of like going at it again, passionately, like." And then she quickly realizes, "Hey, we've never done this in a bed together.
Yep.
It's I mean, we're not really counting the hospital.
That's what I thought. I was like, they're okay, will work. But I guess I get what they're saying.
You know what I mean? It's that's like a little twin.
A cot, I guess.
That's a little cot right there.
Yeah.
That's I'd also be like, it's in a bed, and he's like, "Oh, okay, we could go do that." She's like, "No, not right now, obviously.
Just eventually.
Let's finish this up right now. Come on,
please.
come on." She literally just goes, "Fuck, not now. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
We're right there."
Yeah. And then they get there, and then she like leaves for something in the next morning, and she comes back.
They do go into the bed that night.
Yeah.
Too,
well, yes, and they do. We know what I'm saying.
A little bit of
they do their thing.
Don't look at me because.
Oh, and he's like, "I thought you were beautiful from the moment I saw you."
Oh yeah, and he was talking about this is great. This is also something that I always like when they change canon a little bit to be like he was always kind of into her a little bit. And he's like, when I was 13, I had my first love.
Stop!
There was nobody who
you
could
said when I was 13, I knew where you were going with that.
Yeah, it's leading into it. He was all like, I knew I should have been like imagining Pansy when I was by myself doing a little bit of wrist workout. But no, all I could think of was your frizzy hair. And I'm like, all right, bro.
like that was kind of backhanded, sir.
Okay. Well, her hair is always a nightmare.
Yeah.
Some of that fan art that's really good doesn't have her hair messy enough. And I'm like, okay, her hair, come on, guys.
Yeah. And
so that's the go-to.
Spinning. She's also supposed to have buck teeth. May we never forget.
No, forget that part.
Okay.
It's a magical world. They have dentists, all right? It's not.
Yes. Isn't her dad? Wait, isn't her
dad
a dentist?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay, so yeah, that shit got fixed.
They definitely got dentists. Hopefully she got that like before she erased the memories.
Yeah, I hope so.
Awkward.
Yeah, because she doesn't see them anymore. Sad. Okay, anyways, so they do their thing.
Then she's like,
they chat.
Time to go. Free Theo now.
Yes.
Girl gotta work, so I'm gonna take Pansy to go visit him real quick before his trial so we can chat about it. And Draco's like, or you could stay. And she's like, Draco, oh my God, stop. We have to go.
Yep.
But don't tempt me. And then she goes with Pansy because Pansy's like mad at her for outing her to the world. She's like, I have to tell Theo the truth about how I feel and everything.
Yeah.
So they go to the cells, and then they're like, oh, Theo's not here. He's been taken. Oh my gosh. And they immediately book it back to the castle. All the Slytherins have been taken.
Yeah.
Oh
by
no.
Dawlish, right?
By Dawlish and the
former
other
Auror.
Yeah. So she finds out that where they've gone and books it there with Pansy.
Yeah, and she also like sends a Patronus to
Harry and is like,
Harry and the squad.
You don't have to help. I know you guys have done a lot and I can't ask you to do this.
But shit's going down.
But I stand on business and I'm charging on in. At least let the Aurors know in Shacklebolt just so that we can stop these crazy people from killing kids.
Right.
Because this is a controversial take.
Uh-oh.
But killing kids is bad. Okay.
I don't think that's controversial in the slightest. But it shouldn't be. But anyways, I digress. But
that was the joke, is that it's not controversial.
Yeah. I know. So yeah, the kids they're there. Scary stuff is happening.
Narcissa is chained up there because they're at Malfoy Manor, and that's where he's taking them.
Always gotta be at Malfoy Manor.
And the plot I wasn't super invested in with this one. I'm gonna be honest, but it's still one of my favorite ones. Is that I said this with Draco Malfoy and the mortifying ordeal of being in love, but it's one of those moments where it's written so well that like you can just kind of the plot can be just solid and you won't care. So this plot solid throughout. Dawlish's plan of just like getting Malfoy, he like imperious's Malfoy to kill Hermione so that it looks like, yep, that's what they did, and then we had to save you, but you're gonna be a martyr because they're irredeemable. It's whatever, but the writing is so vivid and detailed and in depth that you're like, you don't care.
Yeah.
And that's
he eventually kills Dawlish.
Yeah, he does kill Dawlish, but in the scuffle where Pansy and Hermione are trying to free them all,
she jumps in front of Theo, saving him from a curse.
Gets thrown right at Theo, and she goes, "No,
don't you fret, Monsieur Marius. Anybody?
Les Mis.
Good job. Those were the musical theater girlies. Yeah, she takes a not bullet spell for him and dies.
Probably been okay with a bullet.
Yeah, it's pretty sad actually.
This one ends her, and I forgot that she dies in this one.
Yeah, I know. You texted me that. You're like, whoa, I forgot.
Yeah, I was just like,
it was sad.
Whoops.
Big sad. The girlie's gone.
I remember reading it too, just being like, yeah, oh yeah, that happens. Okay.
Yeah, big sad. And then whatever, they get back. She wakes up in a hospital room.
Yeah, in the hospital because she was getting crucioed a lot.
And he's gone.
He's gone. He left a letter for her.
Yeah.
I'm going into witness protection, essentially.
Yeah.
Not that, but like he's like
something similar.
I'm giving up all my magic and inheritance so that I can go live as a muggle so that nobody ever comes to kill you because of me again.
Yeah, it's a whole
she's been getting attacked by people this whole time.
And you know, he's plagued by his guilt.
My eyes are not haunted with the ghosts of my parents' past.
Well, yes.
I love that line.
Yeah, that's good. So she spends 2 years then trying to find him.
Looking for him. She's like, no way in hell.
Her and Theo have a moment.
Yeah, because Theo's depressed that Pansy's dead because she died in his arms.
Yeah.
And they're like both sad, and they're just like,
so what if we... And they did, but then they were like, never mind, not again.
No, they didn't like it.
Much respect, never mind.
Both like, nah.
Which is valid. I live.
Yeah, he breaks down crying.
Yeah,
she breaks down crying. They're like,
but at least they have each other in a friendship way. Very cute.
You're my homie.
Yeah. So then they do this like seek and find spell, and she eventually finds him. Yes. And he's living his like Peter Malark fantasy.
Dude, he's doing a little farm boy moment.
Yes. He's tan. She's like, she sees him and she's like, he's
hot.
Good. Well, I mean, we Ben knew that.
Now he's not like pretty boy hot. He's like man hot.
He's no longer emaciated.
He's like
living.
I've been living off the land, Hermione.
Yeah. Oh, not that, please.
Country slang right there.
No, please.
I've been in Wales now, Hermione.
Oh yeah, I don't like it.
You don't like this?
No.
This is Draco Malfoy. This is how I talk now.
He somehow got that accent in Wales.
Yeah, that's the Welsh accent, I believe.
That is so correct. I'm sure everyone in Wales listening is going to be like, "That is exactly what."
Most of our following is in the UK too, so it's like, please confirm. That's how the Welsh talk, right?
I'm going to gaslight you into thinking so.
All right,
man. Anything Americans will do.
You know what? For the rest of this, I'm going to talk like this.
No, please don't.
Okay,
I'll stop. Anyways, so then it's a whole thing.
They make up very quickly though.
They do, but he is kind of like mad. He's like, "Why are you here?
Why'd you find me?
You found me.
I specifically said don't do that."
We're all like, "Come on, you're gonna find each other. Come on!" And then it's slay.
It's very nice.
Yeah, and they live happily ever after. And she spends her time there, but then goes.
And then they find a way for him to interact with a few friends.
Yeah.
The ending is the epilogue, I believe, where this was kind of cool. I always like these moments where Theo has still been very depressed and sad about everything. So Harry's like,
"Yeah,
I've got an idea. Bear with me." And he takes them, being Theo, Hermione, and Draco, to the Forbidden Forest where he dropped the Resurrection Stone. He's like, "All right, Theo, you get one shot at this." And so Theo picks up the Resurrection Stone, and then Pansy shows up and is basically like, "Hey, live your life.
Yeah,
be happy. Find love.
It's really beautiful.
I love you. I miss you." And he's like sobbing, crying.
Yeah.
And they say their goodbyes. And it's nice.
It was cute. It was a nice bookend.
That's a good way to do it.
I know.
Quickly. That's the plot right there. Were there any other, moments that really stood out to you?
I will say there's a quote that I screenshotted that I thought was very beautiful. It was, he says, so he believes he doesn't deserve her, towards the end. And he says, "It's the basic law of things. Good should have good. Bad should have nothing. Light needs more light. Darkness only thinks of itself." I was like, that is fierce.
That's a powerful quote.
And it's so, it just shows you exactly what he's thinking. And he thinks of himself as darkness, and he thinks of her as light. And
he's so edgy for what?
For trauma.
I know, but it's if you're saying stuff like that.
Yeah, it's very Tumblr coded.
I'm darkness.
But he doesn't want his darkness
Batman,
to
bro.
consume
Come on.
her. It's beautiful.
It is very nice.
Yes. But I loved it. I thought it was a great commentary on life after trauma, survivor's guilt, but also trying
healing
to move on,
and using each other to do that.
Yeah.
This is probably not not one of the healthier Dracos in fics. But like, there's some where he's like way worse.
Yeah.
Like this one, he's just kind of angry all the time.
Yeah.
Which isn't the worst that I've read in the past.
Mm-hmm.
What is it that like? Because we will be doing another Dramione in the future.
Yeah, we might take a small...
We'll take a little break as all this stuff is
fizzles out. Yeah,
happening with the community just to see where things land. But
Yeah.
we don't want to stop talking about it.
No,
'cause
I
it's a
love it
great
so
thing.
much.
And we know that you guys really enjoy it as well.
Yeah.
But what is it that like what kind of Dramione would you want to read next? Because I know we have a few options that I've been telling you about.
Well, everyone's been talking to me about the auction.
Mm-hmm.
Is the auction, that's Julie Soto, right?
Is that her name? I know it loves bitch
Yes.
at 8 is.
Yeah, that's Julie
handle.
Soto. She's a published author too, and she has a lot of books that are really huge right now.
Nice.
So I think I would want to read the auction, but I know that there's 3 of them.
Yeah, so the way that one goes is The Right Thing to Do.
Mm-hmm.
I think All the Wrong Things is the second one, which is the same story as The Right Thing to Do, just from Draco's POV.
Right.
And then The Auction, which is an alternate universe from the previous 2.
Work.
And that's the big one that everyone always likes.
Okay, then I want to do that. Also, this is like kind of a different note, but I am also kind of making my way through all the young dudes right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
just when I have a moment, I just will like pick it up and read it because it's long.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if you ever have a moment, you should kind of.
I will. I saw the 5,000 pages or whatever it is.
I
and
really
was
want
like,
to cover it, and we've gotten a lot of messages about it.
I definitely do too.
But I know it's so long.
But we're gonna have to get started on that for a while.
I know. That's why I've been doing it kind of slowly, because it is a lot.
Mhm.
But next week though, right? Well, we might
Not next week, but
eventually
like in 2 weeks from
Yeah.
when you guys see this.
We're gonna do Bride by Ali Hazelwood.
And for those of you who don't know, Maddie does not know what nodding is.
I don't. And I don't want anyone to tell me
'Cause
because I want to find out when it happens.
This
Okay?
is an alpha omega type of situation book,
Which I
apparently.
didn't. He had to explain to me what an Omegaverse was.
Mm-hmm. And
My familiarity of werewolves comes from Twilight and Vampire Diaries. So
I'm very excited
and
to
zombies.
talk to you guys about that one when we get to talk with Maddie about.
I don't know
is
yet. Let me live in
nodding.
ignorant bliss until I figure it out.
She's way off, by the way, guys.
I am?
Nothing, never mind. Anyway,
Okay.
thanks for tuning on into Breath Mints and
thank
Battle
you.
Scars.
Don't forget what we said about fan fiction.
Yes.
It's very important.
Keep it free. All that stuff. Don't
Yes.
spend money.
No. But yeah, thank you again. Love y'all.
Thank you. Be seeing you.
Bye.